Right, so welcome back. Let's proceed with our talking point this morning. We're looking at project management, and we have a project management consultant, Taopheek Babayeju. Let's talk about project management. Is a solution to budget implementation? Taopheek, good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to be with you on this show.
Thank you very much.
I'm honored.
All right. Let's take a look at the first question I'll be asking this morning is, what's the recurring trouble with Nigeria's annual budgets? It's just a ritual, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is the trouble we have with it year in, year out?
I'm going to start this discussion by making reference to something the president said about 2 years ago, precisely January 2007, when the World Bank vice president was here on a visit. And it was in the thick of this power probe and all that. And the president said something very, very interesting. He said more dollar will not amount to light. That means the power solution, unless we find a project management solution. That statement actually buttressed the fact that project management is an indispensable tool in delivering business benefits. And we should start holding our leaders responsible for whatever they say, not just for the sake of it, not political statements. All over the world, budget is a change agent. It's been introduced as a project, not as an operational ritual, the way we treat it in Nigeria. But what you see over the years is a ritual. People come over to the floor of the house and discuss the budget. And over the past 2 years, we've been complaining about low level of implementation. And interestingly, nobody has talked about the solution, to actually make sure that budget are being implemented. We've just been crying fouls over the problem. So what is the solution? Just like we're on a visit to the Project Management Institute, and Promocon organizer were on a visit to Honorable Dimeji Bankole. That should be 2008. And he made a statement again. I'm going to cast back. He said 350 billion naira unspent funds were returned to the coffers, but he would prefer that those money were used for the projects that they were actually meant for, which means that fine, it was a welcome development that monies were returned.
Monies were returned,
but it should be for the projects that they were meant to be used for. So that clearly shows that we have an implementation problem, and implementation is just an aspect of project management. You start from initiation to planning, implementation, which is execution, monitoring and control, and closing. So, but you realize that this implementation has always been a challenge, a recurring challenge.
But do you think Budget 2010 has addressed this so far?
The same set of civil servants are still going to implement the budgets this time around as well. And I'm still going to make a reference to a statement made by Mr. Steve Oronsai, head of service, last week. He said he's not sure that the current civil service has the capacity, human capacity, to deliver on the 2020 vision. And at the just concluded National Project Management Conference, the president said through Dr. Shamsuddin Usman that project management is going to be used to drive the Vision 2020, the Vision 2020 projects. So if you're going to use project management, and it is clear right now that the executive do not have the implementation skills, so why don't we build capacities across the MDAs?
Taopheek, it's like when I listen to some of these people, ministers, the heads of departments and agencies and all that. I was at the World Bank events yesterday, organized by this day town hall meeting. And I heard what the Minister for Labor and Productivity said, Minister for National Planning, Shamsuddin Usman, and the Agricultural Minister. And they came to the defense of the government. It seems that everything, they tell us what we want to hear or what we already know. There's infrastructural problem, there's this, there's that. But I don't see a clear-cut approach to how this government would be able to address the problem. Now, let me take you back. Last month, World Bank says that Nigeria suffers from the challenge of budget credibility, deficiencies in accounting, recording, reporting systems, accounting reconciliations and all that. I can go on and on. Do you also support what the World Bank says? Because the World Bank was even there yesterday. Definitely. The representatives, they were there yesterday.
We have budgetary defects. Every year is a recurring thing, and it's high time we accept the fact that there's a defect somewhere.
Do you think the government has accepted that fact?
No, they have not accepted the fact that even it was heartwarming that Mr. Steve Onosai actually said that the civil service doesn't have the capacity to drive Vision 2020. He knows. He's been sincere with government for the first time. He's been sincere with us as a nation.
So we're in trouble.
We're in trouble. Because let's draw reference from the UK. The Prince 2, which is called Project in Control Environment, is the standard, is not a global standard that is being used to deliver projects across the world. Was actually developed by civil servants, Office of Government Commerce. So it's at a point in the life of the UK, they realized there's a problem with projects implementation, and they fashioned out the implementation procedure that will suit their own purpose. I'm not saying Nigeria should develop its own methodology or body of knowledge, but we already have Nigerians out there that are doing very well, that knows what the problem is.
Can we now develop a methodology that will fit our situation, that will bring us out of it?
The methodologies are there already. We just need to apply it. We need to accept that there's a problem, and we need to have a project management, just like we had what's it called, a conference, but we need to have a strategy as a nation. We need to develop a project management framework.
Okay.
I know national planning is developing something called NPMS, which is National Projects Monitoring and Management System, which is going to be deployed all over the MDAs. But that is not enough. At the National Assembly too, we should have the project management office there, so that we have seamless integration. It's so much so that if you have this kind of system in place, you will be able, at the touch of a button, know that a pin was actually supplied to Ministry of Defense 2 weeks ago, and you monitor the progress. So we need to develop a framework for project management as a whole for the nation, and this will trickle down to the state level, to the local government level. So it's just, there are two approaches to this. Let's develop human capital capacity along the MDAs, the implementers, and even at the National Assembly, the monitoring and evaluation function of the National Assembly, because you cannot monitor what you don't even know what to look out for. It's not about driving to the sites, oversight function. It goes beyond that. It's about monitoring and evaluation, developing an M&E framework for the nation, that is for the National Assembly, and integrate it into what national planning is trying to do. And this goes down to the state level and the local government level as well. So it's not just about complaining about what has been done, because I look at the debate at the National Assembly, all we talk about is 30% implementation, 35% implementation, but we don't want to go that route. Let's find out what the problem is. We've identified it. We have a project management defect in the nation. Let's bring experts together. Let's develop a framework for monitoring, for evaluation, for even at the initiation level. The government, the House of Assembly, and the executive should come together at the initiation level to know that this is supposed to be heard, not when the executive does the budget and they submit it to the National Assembly, and that is when
it's a ritual, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a ritual. That's what I call it. It's a ritual.
All right, now, a recent survey from PricewaterhouseCoopers says that 80% of high-performing projects use certified project managers, and 50% of project failure is traced to poor or no project management. But